It's the Drunk Tank Podcast about games and beer and hot chicks' husbands. Drunk Tank Podcast is a tank that's sometimes drunk. It's got Jeff, Bernie, Gus, Joel, Matt, and Griffin, and Jack is the man. And Brandon's not as stupid as he sounds. It's the Drunk Tank Podcast about gamers, scoring strip clubs, and computers and stuff like that. Drunk Tank Podcast.
Okay,
Brandon is not as stupid as he sounds. I disagree with that.
Jack is the man, and Brandon is not as stupid as he sounds. I do not agree with the message portrayed in this theme song.
What if you just listen to one podcast?
No, that would never have happened in any podcast.
But goddamn, what a good song, dude.
That was fun.
Who was the user that sent in that?
Organized.
You haven't seen that little T-shirt? I gotta get my life organized. You haven't seen that shirt?
No, was that an old shirt?
Yeah, it was like Nobody's Nerfect, like that kind of thing. I gotta get organized.
Bad spellers of the world, untie.
There you go. That kind of thing. Okay. So ironic.
Yeah.
Well, damn, dude, that was good. I'm in a mood now. Before I was like, "Muh," and I'm like, "Hey,
Bernie, your voice sounds awesome today." By the way,
do I sound like Jack from Achievement Hunter?
You've been awake for what, about 5 minutes at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we kept trying to break into. We've been trying to record the podcast for like half an hour. We've been trying to get into the room to record, but Bernie's been asleep in the room.
Oh, really? I have my sad mat that I sleep on the floor here.
I had given up knocking on the door, and I had told Jack what was going on, and Jack started pounding on the wall.
Just come in the fucking door.
I don't want to deal with your sleep boner or whatever's going on.
God,
we don't want to come into a tent or anything like that.
Give me a break.
On your own time, we'll figure this out.
Anyway, so we're in now. We're doing the podcast. What's up, Gus? How you doing?
Good. We got.
Are you the guys that called my phone too?
Yeah, probably.
I texted you. I didn't actually call.
Yeah, that was annoying as shit.
That's my phone, so I couldn't call. I got to take that phone back.
Why's your phone in here?
Because Bernie doesn't have a phone. It's been a part of the whole shuffle.
Jesus.
I have moved offices, and so I'm in the place where we normally record the podcast now.
It's your bedroom now, apparently.
It's not. Listen, dude, you jackass. I saw you for breakfast. We had breakfast. Listen to my voice. I'm a little under the weather, but I took a little rally nap so that I could be ready for the podcast.
Did you put your rally nap on?
I did.
So we got Bernie, Jack, Kerry, and Gus in here today.
What up?
Yo.
We're going to talk about stuff.
Let's talk, yes.
So, listen, I got to go get somebody. Since we're talking about people that sound alike, I just got to go do this. I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
So, Gus, how much Star Wars have you been playing lately?
Quite a bit. I finally finished Chapter 1 of my class quest yesterday. Man, I was trying to beat it, not last night, but the night before. I was trying to beat this class quest, and I couldn't. It was really hard. And I realized that I was just super drunk. I could not beat the battle that I needed to beat. So I just went to sleep really angry. I woke up the next morning.
Whatever the mechanic was.
It was super easy to get through. I did it in one shot.
So, okay, you beat your class quest. That's what, around 32, 33, something like that?
Yeah, early 30s.
Okay, yeah. So I just did 28 last night after doing a whole crap load of questing on Tatooine. It's fun.
So, interrupting our Old Republic talk here for a second, Bernie went and grabbed Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
Hello.
Ryan, you've never been on the podcast before, have you?
No, I've barely been here at all.
Yeah, make sure you get right up on the microphone.
Okay, all right, I'm on top of it.
Yeah, Ryan was working for a long time for Achievement Hunter, but he was working remotely.
Yes. Ryan runs our Game Fails channel, which is our fun, our enjoyable stuff. not the normal stuff we do, it's the fun stuff.
So I wanted to bring you in here for just a moment, first of all, to introduce you to the audience.
Hello,
but secondly, because I have a throaty voice today because I'm a little under the weather, which makes me sound a little bit like Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Okay. So there's something that I didn't know that Ryan could do, and he does very well, which is he can do a spot-on imitation of you.
Oh, really?
Really?
I can do your opening.
Oh, okay.
Your introduction.
The What's Up Guys?
Yeah, the What's Up Guys. I can do that.
So do you think you can bust it out for us?
Yeah, I'm a little afraid of topping out the mic here, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. Because I have to do it loud.
Okay. Gus has got the
I got the level over here.
All right, right in the level.
All right, go for it.
What's up, guys? This is Jack and Jeff from AchievementHunter.com.
I got the What's Up Guys so perfectly.
That's
He
awesome.
did it the other day. I just wanted to bring Ryan in and have him do that and let you know, Jack, you are fucking replaceable. That's what that comes down to. Your little opening is now...
That's it?
Yeah, it's not unique anymore.
You've been marginalized.
No longer a trademark? All right.
Yeah, that might be some kind of infringement. I don't know. But,
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you can work in the office anymore. We have to have you go on road again. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, you already made me sit in the other office.
That's true. You're already satellite from us.
Yeah, Ryan sits in the cool office with me and Adam.
Dude, so I don't know how this happened. So Jeff and I have shared an office ever since we've been in this building. Everyone else kind of had their own office, and now we have Michael in there too. Gus now has 2 people in his office with him. There's like 20 people upstairs in the pit. Somehow Monty has like tripled in space, the amount of space that guy has.
He bought this ridiculous monitor arm and has like 4 monitors on it. I had to put an extra video card in his computer so that he could have 4 monitors running on his
He can run
computer
the
at
Death
same
Star
time.
from his desk. It's insane.
It's
Like
the coolest thing ever. It really is.
Monty's
I'm really
desk
jealous.
area now is a good half of our building. How did he manage that?
I should also add, he's got that ridiculous monitor arm with 4 monitors, and then he's got 2 additional monitors and a TV as well right there.
You people complain a lot. Look, I share my office with that enormous printer over there.
Oh, you boo-hoo.
You don't hear either of us
You
complain.
took over the conference room.
Which one do you use the big spoon?
That thing gets warm, dude. Don't knock it. You run enough pages through that thing to the color mode, that thing will get a little hot.
You get some of that laser dust when you're trying to sleep?
I worry about the laser dust. You know what he's talking about?
Yeah, we
talked about it on the podcast.
We talked about this like on podcast 2, I think, or 3.
Probably so.
And that's because we read that. I don't know if you remember this. We read that article, and that's back when you and I sat next to each other, and the printer was right between us. Yeah. And then, like, we both read it at the same time, looked at each other, and the printer started printing at that instant. And for the first time ever, I saw the particulate that article was talking about coming out of the printer.
It looks like that fake steam. It looks like phony steam, like in a movie, but it's black.
Ever since I heard that, I sit next to the printer upstairs. Ever since I heard that, I hold my breath when it prints because
that works.
I don't think it works either. But
it's
I'm
getting
afraid.
in your nose.
No,
regardless.
don't tell me that.
You're getting died.
I would have loved to have seen Carrie like working in the coal mines in the 1800s because he'd been like, chip, 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 chip.
Run back to the elevator.
And then he's fine. As long as I'm holding my breath when I'm actually chipping away at the coal dust, then it's totally fine.
This sounds totally like it'd work.
I gotta say, you look so young too. You look like one of those kids that could have been in one of those photos with the black faces and the with the sweater on the eyes.
All right, Gus, you weren't in the room, but so Bernie just offered Carrie to go to Vegas.
Hold on a second. Before we start this conversation, let's let Ryan go back to work. Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was also very appropriate that you guys were talking about Star Wars because he looks like someone from Star Wars.
Kinda.
He's dressed today.
I would have said Firefly.
Yeah, I see a brown.
Oh,
coat.
yeah, I get
yeah,
that.
there we go.
Well, isn't Firefly really just based on Han Solo? You look very Han Solo today, Ryan.
Thank you.
You need dual blasters. All right, so before you left the room for a second, but anyway, Bernie offered Carrie to go to this event in Las Vegas next month.
If I can get a ticket.
If you can get a ticket.
Okay.
So here's my thing. Carrie's only 20 years old, and going to Vegas before you're 21 is basically like a hot chick kicking you in the nuts. It's like, wow, that's amazing. Oh God, that sucks because you can't do shit in Vegas unless you're 21.
Oh wow, that's amazing because the girl's hot.
Sure.
I want to make sure I'm understanding the analogy.
Yes, because the girl's hot.
If you're under 21 and you go to Vegas, like I'm thinking about, I never thought about this before. Are the
buildings the hot girl? Who's the hot girl?
Are the elevators like in the opposite direction as the casino? Can you even get to the hotel portion?
Stop
of
talking about the
casino?
elevators. Who's the hot girl? Who's the hot girl that's kicking Carrie in the
it's the
balls?
poker
She's on
chips.
Live Prude Girls. Don't worry about it.
Callback reference.
No, you can like. So from what I understand, you're not even supposed to walk through the casino.
Right? No, you can't.
I mean, obviously you're gonna have to because it's not like you. I mean, pretty much they've set them up now where you have to go through the actual casino floor to get anywhere in any of those places. But you're not supposed to hang out. Like you're not supposed to like hang around and stuff. But you see like parents walking with kids and stuff. So essentially, Bernie would have to be Carrie's parent in Las Vegas and hold his hand whenever they go somewhere.
Big spoon.
So there you go.
I gotta replace the printer with somebody.
I think
Carrie will be my mobile printer.
I think that's mean to invite someone to Vegas.
Look, I
before
just got
they're
a
21.
3DS. I have Ocarina of Time. I'll just sit in the hotel room and I'll play.
So, Jack, tell me what
You can do that. You can do that in Austin.
Why would you waste money? Okay. Anyway, I'm just pissed off that I'm not going to Vegas.
I was gonna say, what's meaner, to ask a guy who's under 21 to go to Vegas, or to ask him in front of somebody who's not going?
Yeah.
So I apologize,
Dick.
Do you know why I asked Carrie to go to Vegas?
No.
Because the show that Carrie works on was nominated.
What's up?
Carrie is like our Swiss Army knife for production, but he does a ton of stuff.
So-
on Red vs. Blue, a ton of stuff.
So what would be Carrie's toothpick that you lose?
His 3DS stylus.
By the way, people in Switzerland, if that really is the official knife of the Swiss Army, They have small fucking fingers.
They do.
I love how they play that joke on you. Here's the knife that's impossible to pull out, and they put like that little divot where your fingernail's supposed to go. Fuck that divot, dude. I have bent so many fingernails back on that thing. Just get a switchblade. Swiss Army knife. Get with the times. Push a button, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we've got fat American fingernails.
Yeah.
We need giant grooves to dig our nails into.
I didn't think about fat. I just
You said it didn't fit.
I have man hands. I have a working man's hands. Type. Hold on a second. I gotta print something.
So anyway, Las Vegas. You guys going in a few weeks, and I hate you for it.
I'm going twice in January. Once again, I don't know how I did it. I now have another month of almost nonstop travel. I don't know how it happened. I don't know. So
Bernie Burns,
twice to
jet
Vegas.
setter.
Twice to Vegas. Boo hoo.
yeah,
Vegas twice.
Once over New Year's too.
Oh.
See, now that's the thing is that Faith is like she set up a meeting January 2nd in Vegas. So how do you go to Vegas January 2nd and not go for New Year's? How do you do that?
You leave on the 2nd, the morning of the 2nd, or the afternoon of the 1st?
See, I should have had you there when I was booking tickets because I couldn't figure it out. I said, "Oh, we're going the 2nd, so I have to go to the 31st."
It's included. You have to.
Have you ever been to like a big city at New Year's? Anybody in the room?
A big city.
Well, I mean, like
yeah, we had to deliver a load of pigs. Big city.
Well, like, you know what I'm talking about, like, you know, New York or like, you know, somewhere that celebrates it upright. For New
I
Year's.
went to Vegas for
No,
Y2K.
I only celebrate New Year's horizontally. I don't celebrate it upright.
That's right, because you live in a small city where it's like you don't want to get too excited. So you live in your little small town life with your small town New Year's.
At the turnip farm.
Exactly.
Farm.
So you went to Vegas for New Year's Eve?
Well, here's my logic. Back in 1999, there was
Yes.
a theory that the world was going to end.
Well,
it
the
might
power was going to shut down.
It might say
Your
no.
parents may have told you about this when you were younger.
Oh, and
Terry.
I was very scared of it.
How old were you in
I don't-
2000? What year were you born?
91.
Wow. Gosh, you were
Sorry.
9.
Yeah.
I'm really great at math. I'm so good at it.
I'm terrible, so this will balance.
So I thought if I'm going to be anywhere where the world is going to end, especially end via power outage, and come on, Vegas.
Debauchery capital of the planet.
Because those lights all go out on the strip, and people just go crazy. They just, trash cans and light them on fire, all that stuff. But of course, nothing happened.
Yeah, you know, even if the rest of the world had gone to shit, the one place that wouldn't have failed at Y2K would have been Vegas.
You think so?
Yeah, I bet more than any other place they're invested to make sure that shit keeps working.
So where does Vegas get its power? Did they get it from the Hoover Dam?
I
Yeah,
believe
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's parts of this country that are major hydroelectric. So if something really goes seriously wrong, be in Las Vegas, and the other place I read about is upstate New York, like the Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Rochester area, which is where I'm from originally. That if they'll never not have power because Niagara Falls is always going to exist, right? Always.
In theory.
I saw a photo of it where it froze one year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen a
fucked
photo
up.
where like there was no water running over it. That may have been the same. I don't know if
I
it was
think
the
they
same
do
photo.
that occasionally.
They like shut off the
What
falls.
do they do that?
They can divert water.
No, they can't.
I believe so.
Yeah, I've seen like a black and white photo where there's no water going over the falls. It's trippy. Dude, have you been speaking of no water, have you been to Lake Travis anytime recently?
Yeah.
It's creepy, man.
Oh, you mean Puddle Travis?
Dude, like, so my parents live out there. I went out there for Christmas, and it was shocking. I've never seen a lake that low. I mean, it's like there's just like the marina we used to go to when I was a kid is just like it's dry. There's no water at
Where
all.
are the boats?
Well, they keep moving them like out further and further into the lake.
Right.
So
They grew
So like
legs.
the boats on the other side touch them.
Yeah,
And then
pretty
what
much.
do they do? Yeah.
it's insane.
We have a lake. It's not really a lake here in Austin. We call it Lake Travis.
no, Lake Travis is a lake.
No, it's not. It's a river that's dammed.
Yeah, it's dammed. All the lakes in this area are just rivers that are dammed.
Okay.
It's the Colorado River.
So
I thought that was Ladybird Lake.
Oh, well, it's something.
That's
But
like-
I'm pretty sure
that's-
Lake Travis is also a dammed river.
Oh,
Well, I
shit.
mean, they're all damned though.
Here we go to Wikipedia. No, but it's a man-made lake. Otherwise, it would have just been a river that ran through there.
Okay. But,
And
it's
it-
a man-made lake is still a lake, and the Venn diagram of lakes.
It is.
A Venn diagram. What's on the other side?
Yeah.
Lake and not lake?
Yeah, sure.
What's in the middle, in the intersection between lake and not? You chose Venn diagram. What's in the middle here?
No, I'm saying it falls entirely within lake. Like if you have lake,
Right,
man-made
I'm saying,
lake is
in this Venn
completely
diagram, what's in the middle?
You guys are getting an argument about Venn
man-made
diagram.
lake
Bathtub.
is in the middle.
You said that's the other side.
Bathtub would be the middle thing
No.
for sure. Because bathtub would have to have the qualities of everything. It's man-made. It's a body of water. And I guess the other side of it would be warm. And the intersection of those three things is a bathtub.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
That's true. I mean, I can make it in my head. So,
All right.
not man-made, but hot. That's a hot spring.
You know, someone's gonna make this diagram now. Like in the comments, someone's gonna work this thing out.
We're building a T-shirt as we go.
You are correct, by the way. Lake Travis is on the Colorado River.
Okay.
You should be ashamed.
What?
You just woke up.
I didn't argue that. It's LCRA. It's Lower
You are
Colorado River,
sixth
Lower
generation
Colorado
Austin.
River Authority.
You come in here every day talking about how long you've lived in Austin. 6 generations of your family.
5.
You did 5 generations of your family. Didn't know that Lake Travis.
Well, the lake did not exist before 1942.
Okay.
So it was either man-made or it was avoiding the war. And it showed up. It showed up here.
4F. So his contribution at home was to supply water.
Lake Travis is a displaced Jew who left Poland fleeing Hitler. That's what build that Venn diagram. That's what Lake Travis is. But Lake Travis is cool because there are parts in Austin you can take part in lots of different cultures, like whatever kind of life you want to live. You go to the clubs every night. You can have a really horrible, lame, dorky lifestyle like we have here.
Playing 3DS at home.
But I have whole groups of friends that all they do is they wait for summer and they go to the lake every goddamn weekend.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that boating culture.
Have
Yeah.
you ever been on a boat and gone out in the lake? Ever?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Have you ever been to like Devil's Cove?
I was going to say, have you been to Devil's Cove?
I have not.
I have not either, and I live right there.
I think they have filmed now 2 Girls Gone Wild there.
Probably.
At least one was filmed at Devil's Cove. You can have a lot of fun going to Devil's Cove. You can have this much fun.
Well, what's the age like where you just can't go there anymore? Where it's like, okay, you're that old creepy dude who shows
Carrie
up.
can go because he's not, be like, be the hot girl to kick him in the balls.
Carrie be like the DD, you know.
Just hold your breath, Gary. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I don't know. Well, see, it's a couple of different things because you can be old enough to afford a really cool boat.
That's true.
And that's kind of ageless at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Money buys your age right there.
There's something about people when they get close to water, they go crazy. I don't know what it is. They just kind of lose it a little bit. I guess the feeling is like we're on the water, so it's like that thing where you can go out in a boat far enough and you can gamble, like nothing applies. Same thing happens to people culturally.
Have I ever told you about the crazy boat I got on one time?
Oh, no.
I'm just going to let you talk.
Okay. I'm not going to say people's names, but you can infer who I was with.
Okay.
We were out drinking one night, and we were at some bar, and this guy we know turns to me and goes, "Hey, you want to go on a boat?" And I was like, "It's like midnight." He goes, "Come on, I know this cool party going on a boat." I was like, "Okay." I was a little drunk. We drive out because there's kind of a river that runs through. Drive out to the river, and there's like this. It's almost like a 2-story paddle boat, like giant boat.
A paddle boat?
Yeah, it's like docked on the side of the river. And we walk up, and he's like, "I know the guy who owns this boat." And we walk in, and the boat is filled with stripper poles.
Yeah.
And there are naked women at every one of them. And I was like, "Where the fuck have you brought me?" And he goes, "The guy who owns this boat owns a couple of strip clubs here in town, and this is just like his party boat." And
How does one purchase a paddle boat? How does one do that?
I don't know.
A two-story
Maybe the
one.
strippers give him the connection.
Wow. Okay.
So we're like walking around, drinking, and there's these naked women everywhere. And after about, 15, 20 minutes, our friend turns to me and goes, "What was that?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "We gotta go." I was like, "What?" He goes, we gotta go, put your drink down, let's go right now. He's like, and I was like, "What's going on?" He goes, "The boat just moved. He's going home. We have to leave, or otherwise we're gonna end up at home with him." And I was like, "What?" Okay, so we like start running off the paddle boat, and sure enough, the paddle boat's been like unmoored from the dock, and we're like running and having to we had to jump off of the boat to make it back to the dock in time. He's like, "Man, we would have been way the fuck downriver if we had stayed on that boat."
So he was leaving to take you guys, this guy who has enough money to buy a paddle boat and fill it with naked women. He was going to take you home?
Yeah, I guess maybe he forgot we were on the boat, or he was just drunk and that was it. Like, he was done for the night, so he was going home, and everyone that was on the boat was going home with him.
Including all the strippers?
I'm just imagining a really rich dude dressed as Mark Twain, drunk as shit, about to drive a boat home. That's what I'm imagining when you say that.
That was, like, it was really an unusual experience, and I'm sorry that it only lasted, like, 15 minutes before the dude decided to go home.
Oh, that's it? That's all you were there?
Yeah, we weren't there very long at all.
Well, now I feel compelled, because I know who you're talking about, I feel compelled to tell a story about that same guy anonymously.
I don't know which one we're talking about.
This guy who took Gus to the boat full of, paddle boats full of strippers. He one time told me a story about he was driving. He has a lot of money himself, and he
I think I know what you're talking about.
a very nice BMW, and he went out.
It's not Joel, by the way.
No, it's not Joel. Although it's going to sound like Joel because he wrecks the BMW during the story. So he was out partying one night, and he's telling me the story the next day, and he lived in a gated community, and the gate was closing as he was approaching it, and so he thought, I'm going to make this. gunned it. Didn't even make the opening. Rammed into the side like the big stone construction of like welcome to Shady Oaks or whatever the fuck it was. Rammed into that. Destroyed his BMW. Destroyed the gate. All that stuff. I go, what did you do? Is the homeowner association going to make you pay for the gate? He goes, I had a plan. He goes, I don't think they're going to know it's me. I said, well, what'd you do? He goes, I just abandoned my car. And I said, you abandoned your car? Yeah, he just left it there. I go, well, it's got your plates and all this stuff. No, I took the plates and I scratched off the VIN number.
Wow.
God.
How drunk were you that you thought this was a good plan? That he like opened up his door and like scratched the VIN number off the inside. I guess he's like wannabe mobster. He's like cutting off somebody's fingerprints or something like that.
Yeah, he lived pretty close to the gate too, so it wasn't like a far run for him to leave.
Yeah.
Because I've been there. I've seen the gate and I've seen his house, and he's really close to it.
Yeah, he put the BMW in a plastic barrel and filled it with hydrofluoric acid. Man, I've been watching way too much Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I was going to say someone's been watching Breaking Bad.
Just don't throw it into a bathtub.
It doesn't matter either how repetitive Breaking Bad gets. I'm always like interested. Like when they get out that barrel and they get out the acid, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be so gross.
You have to keep in mind that was a throwback to like season 1 type stuff. So like if you watch it in order, you're talking about this most recent season. Like they bring out a plastic barrel and it's like, oh,
a couple times.
You know what that is. Yeah. But if you watch pretty much all of them back to like how long was your span from start to finish when you started watching the show?
I'm gonna say about a month.
Yeah,
and it was a good month.
See, now you're talking 4 years for me on that.
Yeah.
So, oof.
Well, it's like the stuff with the ricin poison. Mm-hmm. Man, I spent 4 seasons of that show just going, somebody take the fucking ricin. I want somebody to die from being poisoned by ricin. They drew that out forever, dude.
Yeah,
that is a really great show.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and you guys were right.
We've been harping on it for years.
The 4th season was tremendous, and I'm glad that it won our Drunk Tank Award for Best Show of the Year.
The thing about the 4th season, and you watched it all in a very condensed manner, which would be awesome. I wish I could have done that. Is it starts out as such a fucking train wreck, and like I know when you start that season, you have no idea how it's going to end because things are already just so fucked up. And it's really a great journey.
But there's such like some great dark comedy in there too, like Gail, right? The
Gail
lab
Whitaker.
assistant, and like the video they find of him, and it's like this weird shit where it just kind of pops up. I'm doing my best to be vague and not.
You can go to the AMC website and watch that entire video.
That poor dude. Who is that guy?
He's been in he's been like a B character in a bunch of shows. He was on The Office for an episode where he played like an accountant or something like that, and I've seen him pop up in a few different things. But god damn, this season was so good.
Mm-hmm.
IMDb just recently put out some kind of list, which is essentially their That Guy list, which is all the character actors that you recognize but you don't know their names. So IMDb compiled like a top 100 list of those people.
Is Steven Tobolowsky one of the top guys?
Yes, he is on there.
Yeah,
he is on there. I think we talked about this just recently.
We talked about Tobolowsky.
Yeah,
specifically.
People who have a career for being known.
And there was another guy like that recently in a movie I saw. He's the guy in Major League who was the one who like spits and
Corbin Burnson?
No. He's that weird, really rednecky looking dude who
he looks a little bit like Tom Berenger, right?
Yeah.
If Tom Berenger grew up in like rural Wyoming.
Yeah, that guy. Like I saw him in like two or three movies. Like, oh, it's that guy again. Like, oh, I don't know his name, but it's that guy. So I would hope he'd be on that guy list.
That guy list.
He's got a serious drawl too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know about that dude?
No, not him. But that's also another that guy.
Okay, I was looking at James Gammon. He's been in a ton of stuff.
Anyway,
that guy.
I don't have a laptop in front of me, so otherwise I would look it up right now.
Oh, I forgot. Renee Russo's in Major League.
Oh, yeah.
She's Corbin Burnson's wife, right?
Yeah. Man, Renee Russo's hot, dude. She's born in 1954.
Did you see the photos of Helen Mirren that came out recently?
Oh, yeah, in the bikini.
66-year-old in bikini is still like... So then just walked up and kicked Carrie right in the balls.
Yeah, there you go. Hold your breath. She looked great.
Yeah.
She looked really great.
Hope I look that good at 66 in a bikini.
Dude, you won't. You will not.
You don't look that good now in a bikini.
Please make a photo of that for the link dump. No. Jack in a bikini. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
But no, that would not be the greatest thing ever. Man,
I read recently that Christy Brinkley's almost 60 years old.
Wow.
And she looks fucking good, dude. She looks really good. Someone else posted on Reddit. They go, look at this lady. Can you believe she's in her 50s or approaching 50? And everyone's like, wow, she's hot. It's like nobody recognized it was Cindy Crawford. How do you get to the point where you don't recognize Cindy Crawford?
Well, maybe people don't watch her Rooms to Go commercials. I mean, what's she been in, you know?
Well, I don't know.
She's not really relevant anymore. She's not in Pepsi commercials anymore. This isn't the early 90s.
Well, I know, but it's like still, I would recognize Marilyn Monroe. I would recognize, Brigitte Bardot. I would recognize, maybe. I guess there's some people I wouldn't recognize. Like, I might not recognize Mae West if I saw a photo of her.
I think like those people had more prolific careers, if that makes sense. Like, what's Cindy Crawford known for? Like House of Style and that damn Pepsi commercial in the Super Bowl?
Well, she was like the hottest person in the 80s,
Yeah, she was a supermodel.
Right, but none of that stuff stays. Like, there's no way to consume that anymore. Like, at least with Marilyn Monroe and Brigitte Bardot, you could watch their movies still.
She was in that.
I never saw a Marilyn Monroe movie until I was like 25.
What was that movie she was in with one of the Baldwin brothers? It was like Cindy Crawford and
Damn. What was that?
not hard target.
I want to say The Assassins, but that's not right either.
It's 2 words, like something fire.
Are we playing charades?
Yes, Carrie, we're playing charades right now.
Carrie, do you know who Cindy Crawford is?
Yeah.
Who's Cindy Crawford?
The Pepsi commercial.
No, you
That's
just
what I said.
ripping off what he said there.
No, I'm
All right,
that's-
Cindy
that's
Crawford was
the
in
90s. That was me.
Your Shape Body Workout.
Nice.
Yikes, I have to go back pretty far away to see that. What's she known for?
It was like the 90s, I think.
She doesn't even have that section like what she's known for on her thing here.
I mean, God, there's not much in here.
That's why I said the Pepsi commercial. That's,
The Simeon line,
Fair Game?
Fair game. That's it.
54, Fair Game. Oh,
That's
Fair
what-
Game, there it is.
She played Kate McQueen. I'm gonna tell you something right
He's
now.
a cop on the edge. She's a woman with a dangerous secret.
Who is
and
that?
now they're both ...
Who was in that? It's is it Billy Baldwin?
William, yeah.
William. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was.
He
there was
plays Detective Max Kirkpatrick. It's a great name, dude.
There was we were talking about the Double Dragon movie a couple of days ago. I forget who I was talking to. I think Brandon I was talking to about that. And it's Mark Dacascos and Robert Patrick and one of the dudes from some other TV show is the other brother.
Scott Wolf.
Scott Wolf, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's like Mark
He was in,
Dacascos.
Party of Five, right?
Yeah. Like Mark Dacascos went on to host Iron Chef America. And
Yeah, how did you remember Mark Dacascos but not Scott Wolf?
he also did this movie called like I think Shadow of the Wolf or something like that, or Shadow of the. It's some really badass like French action movie.
Badass.
And I remember like I saw it like Ain't It Cool showed it to me forever ago, and I thought it was really really cool.
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
I've seen that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's French.
Yeah, that was a movie that had shitloads of slow motion in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It had, yeah.
There's a really great shot where it's a crossfade. It's like a woman laying on her back, and it crossfades in the mountains. And you have to imagine that in your head, Carrie. I know you're not 21 yet, but it's
The boobs.
because I wouldn't know.
the
yeah,
boobs
okay.
around.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's one of those movies you check out. You like impress your friends that you have a French action movie to.
I can't believe that movie's so long. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes long. Jesus.
What is Brotherhood of the Wolf?
Yeah.
Well, it's like 300, where if you just took out all the slow motion, it would probably be like 45 minutes.
Has anyone ever done that? Like sped up 300 to real time?
That'd be funny. That's
Like,
a good
even
question.
even that one shot, that one really really long shot where it punches out and punches back in, and
Yep.
different levels. Like just do that in real speed and see what it looks like.
Constantly vary the frame rate.
Yeah.
See it? Might look like the moon landing. If you do that, right? The same
Well,
thing.
that was fake too, right?
What? Now,
that
what's
was
the,
all the green
what's
screen.
the moon landing footage? If you double the speed or half the speed, it's you double the speed. It looks than normal, like guys just jumping around in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mythbusters did a whole episode on that, like all the different moon landing myths and stuff. And like, apparently there's a photo where like a rock has the wrong shadow on it, and like everyone uses that. And then they were actually able to replicate it, using one source of light, which would have been the sun, and we're able to like pile up rocks in such a way that it made the same shadow. So
Really?
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good episode.
Well, what's the theory there? I mean, they didn't have computer generated stuff back in the late 60s when they're landing on the moon.
It's like models and
Why,
stuff.
Miniatures.
but why would a model have a fake shadow? I mean, it still has
Well,
a
no,
shadow.
they're saying a different light source. They're saying
Yeah.
another light source accidentally popped.
Like
in
when
the
they
frame.
lit the miniature, it
Oh.
would have been bad.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? Oh, is that real speed?
Yeah.
So someone already did it.
They did a scene. It's not done very
That's
well.
the scene I was
that's
talking
that's
about.
the exact shot he was talking about.
Even then, that still looked a little bit slow too.
It
Yeah.
still looks cool though.
See, that's,
Anyway, well, that'll be in the link.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's,
well, that's the thing. Is like it already exists. So we should remake that video now that it already exists.
yeah, but
Right.
Man. Speaking of internet stuff, have you guys been reading up on the whole ocean marketing with 2 T's
Yes.
thing? Do you want to talk about that?
it's impossible to not have read up on that.
God damn. That was a fun ride to watch.
So
Anybody want to
Someone's
explain it?
got to
Yeah.
start at the beginning.
essentially, someone pre-ordered an Avenger controller.
What the fuck is an Avenger controller? First of all,
It
looks like a squid.
Yeah, it's a device that goes over the controller.
Yeah.
That makes it so people who don't have very good control of their hands can actually play an Xbox game.
Or PlayStation, right?
Or I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess this person had ordered it, and it hadn't shipped in the time frame it was supposed to. They had emailed asking about it, and I guess it still hadn't shipped. And he was kind of upset because now when people order it, they would get a discount and pay less than he paid, and he still hadn't received his.
And he wouldn't get his any sooner.
Right. So he got a very flippant response from someone who works at the marketing company for this controller. And the customer ended up forwarding it on. For some reason, I think he CC'd Gabe from Penny Arcade.
No, it was okay. There was a back and forth, and the guy got increasingly kind of annoying and like frustrated, and they started basically bickering back and forth. And then eventually, the marketing guy name dropped Kotaku, IGN, Penny Arcade, a whole bunch of different websites. And so the kid responded and CC'd like Tips at Kotaku and Mike at Penny Arcade, a whole bunch of different
All the people he name dropped?
Yeah, he CC'd him, let them know essentially this guy is name dropping you. And so then Mike got into the fray. And then everything blew up from there. And so basically Mike essentially said, if you guys are going to PAX, you no longer have a booth. The guy said, you don't know who I am. I know the mayor of Boston. And like, I know the guy who runs PAX. You can't kick me out. And meanwhile, he's talking to one of the co-founders of Penny Arcade. And so Mike took it upon himself to post the entire email thread on Penny Arcade. And then it kind of exploded from there. And so
I love that the guy's Twitter handle was Ocean Marketing misspelled.
yes.
And then I guess because of all the trouble he got into, he changed it to Ocean Strategy, also misspelled.
Also misspelled.
Really?
Yeah. Stratagay.
This all sounds like brilliant marketing to me, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like the beginning of like an ARG or something like that.
Well, we did start off this conversation by I had to explain what the Avenger controller is.
Yeah.
You know,
And so-
I had not heard of it before all this mess.
But anyway, it was pretty interesting, and pretty much every single person he name dropped came out and said this guy's an asshole, and we don't want to deal with him ever.
I don't know if you saw, there was a story on Kotaku yesterday where I guess they decided to type his email address into Google to see what would come up.
Yeah.
And he had posts on, like, steroid user forums talking about how much steroids he'd done and, like, his mix and whatnot. And they were like, maybe he's just suffering from roid rage.
Who did that?
Kotaku?
Wow, did they really?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking stupid to do that. And they printed that?
Yeah, well, it's a Google search.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, they're speculating he has roid rage?
Well, they alluded
They
to that.
just posted what he
Allegedly.
posted. It was just a copy and paste from the forum.
Okay, listen. I mean, it was the guy was clearly in over his head, especially with Mike. That happens from time to time. But there's always been something about the internet which I've never really understood, which is that mob mentality, that just a fervor that gets whipped up. Okay, that's great. I mean, it's enough. Get this guy. This guy got fired from Oceanside Marketing or whatever, lost their contract with the Avenger. That totally makes sense. He did a bad PR thing. But man, the internet, unlike anywhere else in the world, has the ability to pile on. It almost turns into like an elementary school playground sometimes. I mean, we have people on Twitter saying, talking to us, saying, "What's your opinion of this? What do you think?" I said, "I think the guy is a shitty manufacturer of a video game controller.
PR.
Whatever. Shitty PR for a video game controller. That's what I think about it. This stuff goes on all the time. Guess what? Don't buy from the guy. But like going through and like doing searches on the guy and putting and printing out like his steroid roid rage on the front page of Kotaku. That's not who cares?
Well,
I mean, that seems dumb to me.
So eventually the guy came out and he apologized, or he tried to apologize. He did like the backhand apology thing, like I was just, I was real busy and I've had hundreds of emails and it's really tough, blah, blah, blah. And Mike from Penny Arcade got an email from basically this guy apologizing. And Mike pretty much came back and said, look, I was bullied throughout, all of my childhood, bounced around, and so anytime I can get back at a bully, I go full force. And he essentially said he would burn down his own website if he knew he could catch the guy in the flames. Like, so he's very anti-bully, and so
He said something weird though. He said that he realized he was the bully in this situation now.
Oh, did he really say that?
Yeah.
No, look, I see it that way. I like him a lot, but I mean, there's times when you don't realize it, but you're the bully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, I get it. I mean, the guy made a bad business move and he did a terrible thing, but it's like at some point it's like, okay, that is unto itself enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the old phrase, an eye for an eye. That's not like if you poke your eye out, you have to poke the other guy's eye out. That's not what that means. That means the punishment for what you do is supposed to be like a metering of justice. In other words, that like, okay, you lost your eye, we're not going to cut off the guy's head. We're going to poke out the guy's eye. I mean, that's like, it's an eye for an eye. It's supposed to be even. You don't go above and beyond. And this thing, it's the same thing with, I've never understood this. And I know I'm not going to, neither of these sentiments that I'm making here are going to be popular. I have never understood the internet's obsession with the Church of Scientology. I've never fucking understood it. And it's like even Anonymous, who everyone seems to love on the internet, started to basically harass the Church of Scientology. It's like, okay, it's enough to say it's stupid if you don't like the Scientology, they worship weird things or whatever, but that's enough. I mean, it's like, what is the deal with taking down the Church of Scientology? You know, and then the stuff they put up, it's like, and everyone just accepts these, it's totally okay to harass these people or whatever, to go after them. It's like, well, they worship stupid stuff or they do this, they take money from people. It's like, that's fucking every single religion. I don't see the difference.
I kind of agree with you there. It's like, I've always felt that, yeah, I think it's dumb. I don't agree with it. But I feel like it falls into freedom of religion, which I think is one of the fundamental things that we're guaranteed in this country.
You think what does?
Scientology falls under freedom of religion.
Oh, it falls under it. Okay.
Yeah, if people want to believe in that, fine. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's, you know, it's...
Well, I mean, all religions have horror stories attached to them, too, if you really get into it.
What are the horror stories of Scientology, though? Are they killing people?
Yeah, like, there's stuff like that where apparently they have, like the most recent thing that came out was there was some cruise ship, and there was some woman, essentially, she was trapped on this cruise ship for, like, 5 years, where they wouldn't let her leave the boat. And it had something to do with Scientology. I don't know all the details behind it, but I mean, I recently remember reading something about that, or seeing a headline about that. And so, you see stuff like that. I mean, like, you know, you see, like, the, you know, like all the little boys and the, you know, Catholic priests and all that stuff.
Right.
Like everyone's got something, so.
Well, I mean, the Catholic religion, which I am a part of.
Yeah.
I mean, go back far enough. I mean, it's a lot worse things.
Yeah, you get
I mean, they're all bad, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you get, like, you know, Spanish Inquisition, everything. I mean, you go get Crusades, you get some pretty horrible stuff in there. Lots of people dying. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, I react, and probably the same way Mike does, or Gabe from Penny Arcade, is that I react negatively to things like that as well. But when I watch the mob mentality and I watch the pylon, I have a really strong reaction to that. Because people don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have IGN, Kotaku, Penny Arcade. These are well-established businesses that are stopping their day to pile onto to an individual.
I think this is more of a, like, sort of a warning to other people name dropping them. I think they wanted to immediately distance themselves from this guy. Like, they saw this guy as negative PR, and this guy's throwing their name around. And they're like, no, you don't do that to us. And like, so everyone is very quick to be like, distance ourselves away from this guy as much as we can. So I think that might have something to do with it.
Okay. Also, name dropping. I mean, that's the kind of thing where it's like dropped, you know, as part of like a promotional material, something that this is a private email chain that was published.
Yeah, but this guy was saying, "Oh, you're no one. I know the editor at Kotaku. I know the editor at Joystick. I know Kevin Kelly at G4." Like he was specifically naming people, and so those people then came out and said, "No, you don't do that to us."
No, absolutely. Which I listen. I totally defend. They have a right to do that. I mean, somebody's using your name. You totally have the right to defend your own name and say, "No, I'm not involved with this in any way." But Google searching. Now listen, there's a line somewhere. Yeah, you're right. You're not going to go to the guy's house and burn it down.
That's
right.
That's TMZ shit right there.
So there is a line somewhere. I think that doing a Google search for the guy's name. I mean, they're doing that, honestly, in my opinion, they're doing that because he's now an interesting story. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, Kotaku's a gaming site. I mean, that's looking up and publishing things about a steroid forum. I don't see how that's related to gaming news, except for this weird ancillary thing of like, here's a guy in gaming news who's in a fucking tailspin. You know, he's in a flat spin trying to pull a jack or whatever this guy's got going on. I don't know. I just think you can go too far. And that's the thing about when you get in the mob mentality is you're part of the mob. If somebody in the mob goes too far, you're in the mob. You don't get to come out. You know what I mean? You're along with them. You know. I don't think Kotaku did anything really damaging in any way. Like you said, Gus, it's public information.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they didn't go digging through the guy's trash or break into his house.
Yeah, you just never know. Mm-hmm. It's interesting you say digging through trash because that's essentially what they're doing, right? They're trying to dig up stuff. What is the purpose of publishing that? What do you hope to gain from that?
It just seemed like fanning the flames.
Exactly? What is the public interest in shaming that guy on that level?
It's a slow news period right now. So,
no games coming out.
You know, it's after the holidays.
What's the next big game?
That being said, though, fuck this guy. Fuck him anyway.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Yeah, we are not on this guy's side.
No, yeah. I mean, bullying someone who's paid you money, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is really ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And it's so stupid to do that in this day and age, too, because it seems like, as an American consumer, or just walking around, The worst thing that can happen to somebody is they feel like they're a sucker or they feel like they were taken advantage of. I mean, I see people in like lines for coffee that freak the fuck out if they think they're being taken advantage of, you know? No one wants to be a sucker in America. And God, if you tell someone they are, like, directly, you better watch the fuck out, dude. God.
Suckers.
God, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So let's talk about something happy. You know, the Live Proved girls are out there asking for Mr. Bernie Burns to join them. I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen that.
yeah. I'm definitely going to do that.
You should.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I have to go to LA mid-January as part of these trips. So, yeah, they want me. Listen,
They film out in L.A.?
you talk about fanning flames. I might fan my own flames here. You know, their interviews are not nice and kind.
No.
I mean, it is pretty brutal. So I might be subjecting myself to, you know, awkwardness with very pretty girls.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want those kind of flashbacks.
It's like junior high all over again.
Exactly
High
right.
school.
Exactly
You're
right.
kicking the balls and then do an interview.
Yeah.
Let me give
Right
you
for the interview, I hold my
Let
breath.
me give you some advice from middle school, Gus. Don't ever look them in the eye.
Really? Well, I need
No,
to
I'm just kidding.
look at my own feet.
It's like dealing with a wild animal, like with a bear. Don't challenge.
But Bernie says
Wave
he
your
can beat a
arms.
bear. He can fight a bear.
Oh, never mind. Oh,
wait.
no, wait, you changed your tune.
No, wolves. Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
after I watched The Grey, that Liam Neeson movie, I would not fight a wolf.
That's coming out in January, right?
A woof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack sent me a video
Oh, yeah.
earlier today. I guess it's a video of some animal control officers removing a 13-foot Burmese python from someone's pool in their backyard.
And Joel is suspiciously on vacation at the same time.
Yes.
Where was it?
I think it was in Florida, if I recall.
So it was like a neighborhood pool?
I think it was
like
someone's backyard pool.
yeah.
Jesus.
I saw that and immediately emailed it to Gus and Joel. I see Joel on it.
You know, that is public information, right? Because they had a call to a residence. You should be able to find the address of the residence, right? Right?
Probably.
Why don't we send them a RTA t-shirt? Are we doing a snake t-shirt?
I don't know which ones we ended up going with.
We have
we
a
got
couple
in
of the
works.
animated adventures making their way to t-shirts, which
Yeah.
Jack is very happy about.
I'm super excited about what?
The RTAA t-shirts. You kept saying you were going to buy one for sure. Was that you?
No, he
No.
was talking about the other one that's not out.
No,
yet.
yeah, I was talking about the Gus one.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one still not out?
No.
Okay, yeah, we haven't released that one.
No, Gus's is upcoming. I think it's next week.
The Gus shirt is amazing.
It's
I'm
pretty cool.
super excited for that one.
We better be because we've been fucking. This is the third podcast in
know.
a row we're hyping it.
I know, and Brandon's always like, "Oh, hype up our store, hype up the store." Here we are trying to hype up the store. It's not even out yet. Way to go, Brandon!
Oh, okay. Now
Yeah,
I'm
you know what you're
about.
talking about.
No, I just figured it out. Yeah,
You were there.
I know.
We something funny happened on that shoot.
We'd like to welcome Carrie to the podcast today.
Hey, Carrie, how you
sorry.
doing?
we
I got here early.
Hey, Carrie, you should go to Vegas.
we went to the when we filmed that short. We went out to the empty lot, down the street here, and the whole way out there, Chris kept talking about his fucking pants. He's like, "I just bought these pants. They're brand new. I don't want to get them dirty." And he went through this whole ordeal.
So the other thing too, it just rained. It just finished raining. We're going out to a field that is full of mud. It's just covered in mud. So I just wanted to.
No, yeah. So as a result of this, he starts rolling up his pant legs. It's like this whole ordeal. We're all standing outside waiting for Chris to roll his fucking pant legs up. He's like, "These are my new pants. I can't get them dirty." So we get out there and we're shooting, and Chris needs to be an extra in the background. He's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna put these other dirty cargo pants on over my new pants. That way, it looks good for the short." He's like, "Oh, these pants aren't distressed enough. They should have some holes in them."
Oh, no.
He's like, "Here, let me cut a hole in my pants." So he gets a knife and sticks it into his pants and cuts right through the prop pants and his brand new pants.
And his leg?
No, not his
No.
leg though. And cuts this giant gash through. It was like, "Oh fuck! I forgot I was wearing my pants." And it was just so serendipitous because he'd been talking about those fucking pants forever. We all just started laughing at him.
Oh, that's great.
The first time he ever wore them, we fucking took a knife to him and just slashed him up.
God, what an idiot.
We asked him why he didn't take the pants off, and he's like, "I forgot I was wearing the other pants." He forgot he was wearing two pants.
What was the amount of time between that? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. It wasn't very long at all.
That's awesome.
We were just talking about a weird serendipitous moment that we had about a year and a half ago. But just recently, we went down for our holiday dinner. We went down to Kreitz's and
No, we went to Smitty's.
Smitty's. Well, some of us went to Kreitz's. Well,
Oh.
other
Yeah.
people couldn't make the tour. Carrie,
It was delicious.
it was. We went to Kreitz's to get our ice cream sandwiches afterwards.
Gotta have an ice cream sandwich.
But down in Lockhart, Texas, which is about 40 minutes south of here,
Southeast, yeah.
southeast. Thank you, Jack, for correcting me.
Lockhart is
It's the opposite direction of Lake Travis.
It's a lake, not a river.
There you go. Exactly. It's neither a lock nor a heart. And so it's got some of the best barbecue in all of Texas there.
Fuck
and
you.
We go down there. We go down there whenever we have a special occasion or something like that. So we went down for the Rooster Teeth 2011 holiday dinner.
We did.
And I was reminded of the time that Brandon went to work for us. I guess it was here at the new building. So when we all arrived here, Brandon went through his Brandon 2.0 phase. And he would only eat things that he cooked on the George Foreman grill. And one day I was like, I'm so sick of hearing about the goddamn George Foreman grill. So I said, look, we're going to go down to Lockhart for the first time to take Brandon. And you're going to love this barbecue. It's great. He goes, no. I got a policy. I only eat stuff on the George Foreman grill. I was like, shut the fuck up about the George Foreman grill. He talked about the goddamn George Foreman
All the
grill
time.
the entire way down there. And he said, nothing down there is going to compare to what George Foreman can do. I said, you'll like it. Trust me.
This is just reinforcing the fact this guy's a fucking idiot.
Pretty much. He's comparing world-class barbecue to something he cooked on the George Foreman grill. So we're arguing about the George Foreman grill in the parking lot. Come in, open the doors. Fucking George Foreman is standing there. George Foreman, former heavyweight champion of the world. We're arguing about his goddamn grill the entire way down, and George Foreman is standing right there. I thought at first it was a elaborate joke on me, and then Brandon thought I arranged it somehow. Like, I called up the Champs PR people and said, hey, I got this guy. Won't you shut the fuck up about his grill? We should have had George Foreman, like, cook Brandon's food. That would have been, like, the perfect moment. So that was one of the weirdest things.
Yeah,
of all time.
that was very surreal.
It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
God, that's they've got Mexican Wolverine down there, Mexican Elvis.
Mexican Elvis. Yeah, he wouldn't let George Foreman touch the pit.
No, not at all, man.
That guy's awesome. It's the guy who runs the pit at Kreitz's Market down in Lockhart. And Jack's right, he looks like Mexican Wolverine.
Yeah,
Mexican Elvis.
I'm sure you can find a photo of him. I'm sure. If
Have you seen? There's photos of him on the wall, like at Kreitz's. There's like old newspaper clippings.
Yeah, they have like a plaque dedicated to him.
Yeah, and there's like old pictures of him from years ago. It looks exactly the same.
He's like Dick Clark of barbecue.
He's been cured by the smoke. He's like
never
well preserved.
He's like Gene Porter. There's something to that. If you run a barbecue place, then you stay alive forever.
No.
I guess not made enough.
Then you don't.
then you stop being alive. How old is Dick Clark? He's like in his 90s now, right? Like
I don't know.
Like they brought him in for the countdown the last few years, and it's always sad because like he can't keep time anymore.
Oh, I thought you meant because he's working with Ryan Seacrest.
No, I respect Ryan Seacrest. Like that guy is a hard worker, dude.
I get to admit, I like the guy too. Like
Yeah.
he like weirdly chose a career that didn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like he chose the Dick Clark path when those old like 50s announcers guys, they don't exist anymore. But now Ryan Seacrest is that guy.
Yeah.
Dick Clark is 82, by the way.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I would have sworn he was older than that.
Man, he was on American. How old was he when he was on American Bandstand in the 60s?
He was born in 29.
I guess that's pretty fucking old.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think William Shatner is 80, right? So about the same age.
Really?
Yeah, and I
Man.
think Betty White turns 90 in January.
Yeah.
Man, they showed somebody posted a picture of Betty White in her heyday. Mm-hmm. She was quite the dish, I have to say.
Back in the aughts.
I don't know when that would have been. Yeah,
Back in the early teens.
back when Lake Travis was just a river.
Was she wearing a swim cap and those like those full like legging swimsuits?
Yeah.
Painted on the side of a bomber or something. Man. Yeah, it's kind of shocking. So Dick Clark and Shatner are almost the same age.
Mm-hmm. Shatner is like a year or two younger.
Man, like Dick Clark went from like looking like he was 50 to looking like he was like 200 over the course of a few months.
He had a stroke.
Yeah, he had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. That or he was hosting an Asian news show or something like that.
Or he's president. You age. Never mind.
You age instantly when you're president.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's something we've talked about, but Kerry said one word. President. always a joy.
He does the subtle callback. President, podcast 42.
Did you see the baby put his hand in President Obama's mouth?
Yeah, well, that
in
photo
Hawaii?
was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty great. So it was some news thing. Like he was in Hawaii for Christmas, and they went to a local restaurant or something, and he was taking photos of a bunch of people, and some baby put her hand right in his mouth.
That's so good.
Then the Secret Service beat the shit out of that baby.
They took it in the back room.
They took it to Guantanamo.
Who are you working for?
That baby's got a burlap sack over its head now. Got the attack dogs like barking at it.
I love too because the dad is like looking at the camera,
Yeah, it's
oblivious,
completely
and the
oblivious.
mom is like reaching for the hand, trying to pull it out of Obama's mouth. He's got kids, man. He knows.
Oh yeah.
Just think like Obama's going to come down with croup or something, and now the free world will grind to a halt. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? Like, have you ever met a U.S. president?
Like shook hands or like what do you mean by meet? Like
That's a good question. Let's just say you've seen in person.
seen in person? I've seen Steven Spielberg in person.
Yeah?
Actually, you know what? I was at when in the 2000 election, when they had that whole debacle where they didn't really have a candidate, they didn't have a winner until like the next day or until
Next
a few
month.
a few, yeah, whatever. I was downtown at the Capitol here in Austin, where Bush was essentially, where they had blocked off all of Congress and he was on stage and everything. So I was there for that because my uncle he's big in the he knows a lot of people in the Texas government. So he got an invite and he asked my dad and
Does he know the mayor of Austin?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows the mayor.
People tell him to fuck off. Wait for the controller.
So anyway, I was there for that. So if you're saying literally see someone, that's probably the biggest person I've seen in person.
I've never seen a president.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Haven't you?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? Mm-mm. We saw a president. We saw George Bush Sr.
George H.W. Bush.
While he was president, or
No, after he was president.
okay.
It was like you saw him like the day before there was that accident with his plane.
Oh, yeah.
Or the day before, or the day after. Like he wasn't on the plane, but the plane that was supposed to fly him crashed.
You Final Destination
Suspicious.
didn't
You know
miss
what?
him.
Listen, I just went, oh, yeah. Like, I remember that. I have no idea what he's talking about.
No.
I just, it was some, attachment to a U.S. president that I wanted to, yeah, let's talk about that. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I just was feeling self-important for a moment there. I don't give a shit about the president's plane trouble. Fucker went to Fogo de Chao.
Yeah.
Which is a Brazilian restaurant that costs like $60 a person to go
Great
into.
place.
And there was probably 60 entourage and Secret Service agents with him. They were all eating there. That's kind of shitty. Yeah. See, Carrie, now you can appreciate that, can't you?
Yeah.
Because you're paying for that with your tax dollars.
America.
Yeah, the private jet crashed in Texas on its way to pick up former President George H.W. Bush, killing all 3 people on board. It was a Gulfstream that went down in Houston.
Really? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. Now, Breaking Bad has ruined shit like that for me. Because now it makes me think that somebody brought that plane down. It's like Breaking Bad, all these conspiracies and schemes against all these people. Even when I watch normal people having a conversation in a Starbucks or something, I'm now thinking they're talking about something really nefarious. Because they look like such normal people.
I was actually thinking about that last night. This is sort of semi on the same point. So I was playing Star Wars last night, and I realized, in this one, I literally had a conversation in the game where, this guy was giving me a quest, and we're in the middle of this space station, and there's people just running by, and here we are talking about overthrowing this entire planet, and we're just having this conversation out loud in the middle of all these people walking around and stuff. Oh yeah, let's go ahead, and all you got to do is usurp the government, and take this, steal some money, and you'll be fine. And it's we're just talking out loud. no one's within earshot. Yeah, no one's within earshot of that. It's oh wait, hey.
They don't want to do the animation where it's hey, come over here. Come here.
Shh, be quiet, come here.
It's funny that you say that about Breaking Bad. I had read an interview with the creator who said that he had always viewed Breaking Bad as an experiment to try to turn a Mr. Chips type character into Scarface.
Really?
And to see if that was possible to do that.
I have to say that they kind of paced that oddly because at the end of season 1, he was a crazy badass, but then they had to kind of back off of it a little bit. Then they introduced the character Gus. You remember at the end of season 1 when he went into the mob boss's place with a chemical that he had made? That was crazy. Mm-hmm. That was a crazy scene.
I like the way that episode runs too, because it starts with the craziness at the end, and they do that a lot with that show, where you see one thing and then it just cuts and then starts and tells you the story of how you get there.
Back to it. Yeah.
It was also the episode in which he shaved his head. So it was really crazy transformation.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's one of the final scenes in an episode this season, season 4, where he's under the house laughing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Watching that transformation from,
I can relate.
Man, dude.
I can relate, dude.
That was one of those shots where it's oh, wow, he's lost it.
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate to that, totally. Did you ever reach that? You reach a point where it's things are so fucked up. Just so fucked up, and you're I can't do a goddamn thing about this. Yeah. So I guess I might as well enjoy it. You know what I mean? And just lose it. This is fucking out of control.
It's happened to me a couple of times in front of my wife, and she'll be "Why are you laughing? What's going on?" And you can't explain it. It's just there's nothing you can do right now.
I got to go to one end of the spectrum. So we're either just gonna realize how ridiculous this is, and just say, okay, this is life and it's crazy, or let's start killing motherfuckers. It's you really only have one or two choices sometimes. You really do. It's crazy.
Man, that's a good show.
It's really, as a guy, not to sound like a typical guy, but I'm not just gonna start break down and fucking start bawling, in the middle of, something like that. I mean, I don't know what it would take to get me to start just hysterically lose it and start bawling.
Pixar movie.
Yeah, if my life fell apart, my wife gave. Well, I can't say what he did when it happened in the show, but if all this stuff happened to him, and he was also watching the first 15 minutes of Up, then yeah, that would make sense.
The end of Toy Story 3.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Balloons.
She's got the pit.
God damn Pixar. Fuck them.
Man.
Fuck them.
Pixar had their first misstep this year with Cars 2, man.
Dude,
Do you
that
think the
movie
other-
has made so much money, you clearly do not have any children around you.
No.
Because that movie has made so much fucking money.
Really?
God damn, yes.
That's-
I
that
guarantee you
franchise.
it's not going to make an Oscar.
No, it's the first Pixar movie I've just had no urge to go see at all. Like every single Pixar movie outside of this
Oh,
one.
you should definitely. I mean, for as far as criticism goes, you should go watch it to firmly establish the bottom of the barrel for
Really?
Pixar. I mean, it does.
It was
really
the first
does.
movie they did that got less than a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
They got like a 30, I think.
It made $191 million.
What did it make overseas?
I'm pulling that up.
What did it make on DVD? It's
191
Christmas.
domestic, 360 foreign, $551 million worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're laughing all the way to the bank about their fucking Rotten Tomato score.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what did Up? I mean, I guarantee Up is considered more of a failure to them than Cars 2.
Think so?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they like it,
It's
but
not as marketable as Cars.
Okay.
Like there's,
I don't think Up made nearly as much money.
I could have as many plush dolls of Frank. Is that his name? Or
Yeah. Oh, that was his name, I think. Frank.
I'd buy one of those.
You would?
Oh, old crotchety man with
Yeah.
the cane and a walker.
I can't see what place it ended up in for 2011. I'm trying to find that, but I can't.
When the first Cars came out, it was I think it was the highest grossing movie of the year. I think.
Really?
And it was the highest grossing video game on all three platforms
Jeez.
that year too. I forget what year that was. Remember, Jeff would know that.
It was 06.
Was that 06? Wow.
5 years ago. That would have been before the whole Call of Duty craze. So that doesn't shock me.
What was the big Call of Duty craze? Was it the original Modern Warfare that started it?
Yeah, it started with Modern
yeah.
Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 2 was pretty big. That was that was like one of the launch titles for the 360. I remember playing the hell out of that game.
Yeah, I remember I bought it again on the because it was released for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
but
it was
Call of
also the
Duty
launch
was-
title for the 360.
I can't believe I'm cutting Carrie off. Sorry.
What's it?
He said two things the entire podcast. I'm cutting him off.
President.
Step over him.
President.
Podcast number 44.
Up actually made $293 million domestically.
So did it better than Cars 2?
Mm-hmm. 731 million worldwide.
I would like to
I think the
retract
worst
my
one
statement that I made.
I'm going to look up Wall-E. I think Wall-E did worse.
Really?
Yeah.
God, Wall-E's a great movie.
223 domestic, 297 foreign, 521 worldwide.
Okay, you want to see something crazy? Look up the motherfucking Smurfs. You will see.
Fucking.
I would go watch that.
Is there a G in there?
You will see something crazy on the Smurfs. So did you see the
Am I going to
Smurfs?
be upset about this?
Did you see the Smurfs?
I did not see the Smurfs.
Did you see the
No,
Smurfs?
I did not.
Okay.
142 million domestic,
Now look at the international for the Smurfs.
419.
What? It made a ton of money overseas. I think we've talked about this before too. We need an abbreviation for saying I think we've already talked about this, but I was talking about that with Tintin because now people are seeing Tintin in theaters, and that's one of the movies that I saw at BNet. My whole thing about Tintin is okay, that was cool, but that would probably double its money if they didn't call it Tintin, if they called it the animated Young Indiana Jones Adventures. Because it's basically an Indiana Jones movie and a really fucking good one too. But it's this guy Tintin. It was French. Is that what?
Yeah, it's
Tintin?
French. It was a French cartoon. Or French comic.
I just realized the other day that Tintin's the boy. I thought Tintin was the dog.
I thought the same thing.
I thought
too.
the movie was about the dog, and the dog was named Tintin.
Yeah.
The dog is Snowy.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be really insulted if you listen to our podcast from France while we talk about Tintin. Because first of all, fuck you for being French, and secondly, we don't know shit about Tintin.
I think if I don't have it here, but I think Tintin opened overseas before it opened in the United States.
It was out before I saw it, and I saw it 3 weeks before it opened here.
Yeah, when I went to London back in October for MCM Expo, there were billboards for it everywhere. And I think it just opened here this month in December, probably last week.
Yeah, but have you guys seen it? Anybody?
I saw
No.
it.
No.
Yeah, what do you think?
I loved it.
I've heard fantastic things about it.
The animation in that movie it's surreal. Like there's like the fluid motion. It's like someone's wearing a costume. It looks like it's the most lifelike animation I've ever seen in my life.
Some of the best faces too.
Yeah.
Who plays the captain in that?
Haddock.
It's got to be somebody famous, right?
I don't know.
It sounds like Gerard Butler a little bit when I think back on him.
No, I don't know. All I know is the only two people I didn't recognize during the movie, but afterwards I realized who it was. It was
Andy Serkis.
Oh, Andy Serkis.
nice. Edgar Wright not Edgar Wright. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are the Thompson twins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but Edgar Wright actually he co-wrote the movie or something like that. He was involved in somehow, and so yeah, Andy Serkis, man. No, that doesn't shock me at all.
He's awesome.
Like the fight on the boat.
Are you guys big Andy Serkis fans? Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. It seems like he works on a bunch of Peter Jackson movies, and I never see him outside of Peter Jackson stuff.
He was just in that Planet of the Apes remake this year.
Yeah.
Doing the capture performance.
Yeah?
For the monkey.
One of the monkeys. Was he
Caesar?
Caesar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was?
He was Caesar.
Interesting. It's really interesting. And then I know there's a big debate, too, that Andy Serkis could be nominated for an Oscar for the performance of Caesar, but then there's like a whole team of people.
Yeah.
Who were like,
I wasn't really blown away by the performance either. I wouldn't say it's Oscar caliber. Not that I could pick out of the fucking shithole of movies we had this year.
Yeah.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah.
This is 2000.
I can't wait to see the 10 movies they put up for Best Picture at the Oscars.
It'll be interesting. I'll tell you, if that Liam Neeson movie come out in December, no question. No question.
Well, they're saying War Horse is really, really good.
It comes out in January.
Yeah, they're saying War Horse is really good.
And once again, is it out?
Yeah.
Once again, I'm going to say, because we mentioned The Gray, do not go watch the trailer. Go see the movie, but don't watch the
I think
trailer.
I'm done watching trailers. Because
I
like the
hear
last
ya.
5 movies I've seen, everybody says, don't watch the trailer.
What do you think? Did we talk about this before? What is the worst spoiler ever shown in a trailer? Ever?
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, what was the one of that? Oh, did they bomb? Yeah. Oops. They ruined the whole second act. What was it?
I think you and I talked about this, but I don't think it was on the podcast. It was for Star Wars Episode 1.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is.
And what was the moment they spoiled?
It was the dual lightsaber.
Why
Yeah.
the fuck would you put that in the trailer?
Yeah, that should not have been in the trailer.
They even, like, that moment where he pulls it out and he's, like, holding it and then he pops out the other side of the
Best
lightsaber.
moment of the movie.
Easily the
in
best
the
moment
movie,
of the
they obviously pace it
Yes.
to be like a fantastic moment. Like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting that at all. But you saw it already probably a million fucking times.
Yeah, why in the world would they do that? The other one was, and you go back and watch it, it won't matter to anybody. I guess maybe they didn't think the franchise was going to do that well initially, but the original Mission Impossible trailer, which I think was directed by Brian De Palma or
I don't remember.
Coppola, one of those two guys. I think it was Brian De Palma. They showed the last stunt in the movie in the trailer. The thing with the helicopter in the tunnel, and then even the bit at the end, there's always like the big stunt, and there's like we're gonna die, but the train didn't fall over the edge of the cliff, that kind of thing. And that's the thing with the helicopter blade, like stopping on
his nose,
right
yeah.
on his nose. They show that in the fucking trailer. It's in the trailer. I'll never understand that as long as I live. I even saw the movie, and I thought, the trailer, and I thought, that looks like the last. They look like the last thing in the movie, and I thought, sure enough, when I went and saw the movie, there it is. I got to see the last big flourish in the fucking trailer. It makes no sense, but The Gray is like that. Like there's a moment in the movie that you want to see in the movie. You don't want to see it in the goddamn trailer.
Spoiler.
Yeah. So,
For reference here, I have the Golden Globe nominees for this year.
well, hit me up.
Best Motion Picture Drama:
I'm gonna hold my breath.
The Descendants, The Help, Hugo, The Ides of March, Moneyball, and War Horse.
I don't know what you just read. I recognize Hugo.
The Descendants is that George Clooney movie where he goes to Hawaii. with his
I think
family.
they live in Hawaii.
Oh, they live in Hawaii?
Yeah. And then Moneyball.
No.
You know Moneyball. Yeah.
He
It's,
goes to Hawaii. What does he do there?
it's like his wife.
That baby sticks his hand in his mouth.
No, it's like his wife's cheating on him. It's like his kids tell him that their mom is cheating on him, and then he goes find. I think it's Matthew Lillard is like
Yeah,
the guy.
I believe so.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about
I've
it.
heard good things about it too.
Matthew Lillard. Really interesting.
Best Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical.
Okay.
50-50, The Artist, Bridesmaids, Midnight in Paris, and My Week with Marilyn.
I kind of want to see that My Week with Marilyn.
I want to see.
Is My Week with Marilyn a comedy or a musical?
I think it's a comedy.
I feel
is it
embarrassed
both?
that I haven't seen 50-50.
It was a good movie. I
Apparently,
liked it.
people like that. And now I'm a Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan. I have become that.
Yeah, Inception really turned him for me, I think.
Yeah. I watched that 50 Days of Summer or 500 Days of
500
Summer.
Days of Summer.
Which Jack talked about forever.
Forever.
And how much he loved it, right? I went and watched it. I go, I finally watched that goddamn movie you talk about all the time. He goes, I don't like that movie. He said that to me.
What? I guarantee you there are tons of podcasts where we
there?
talk about
Okay.
it early on.
He talked
I'm
about
sure I'll
like,
find it.
You talked about that podcast, or that movie on the podcast, like it was the greatest movie ever made. And you're sitting here right now saying, you don't care.
No.
All right,
I was probably like smitten by Zooey Deschanel or something like that. That's probably why I was talking about it so
she's
much.
pretty cute.
She's
I can
super
understand
cute.
that.
Well, we're replacing you with Ryan. That's it. I can't take this inconsistency. At least Ryan is consistent.
Can we replace him with Zoe Deschanel?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's
I'm
get
fine
her,
with that.
her and Mila Kunis in here.
There we go.
See, that's the third week in a row we dropped her name.
Mila
it's going to work.
Kunis.
All right, well, let's wrap this shit up. We
Oh,
gotta
no.
get
We
some-
have to talk about this.
You took a nap. We started late.
Yeah.
I got to go put this shit out. I got to
There's-
put the animated adventures up.
Okay,
Guys, this is the last podcast of the year, by the
This is
way.
the last podcast of the year. So let's talk about 2011.
Okay, 2011.
Was 2011 a good year or bad year?
I don't think 2011 will go down in the good column.
Okay. So you're happy it's going away.
Fuck it.
There you go.
2012, here we come.
Suck it. What about you? Carrie?
Great.
Great year for you?
Season 9.
Yeah, you had a good
Awesome.
time?
Yes.
That might get you to Vegas before you're 21. Working on season 9. Carrie, why don't you tell us what you did on season 9 so people know everything you do around here?
I helped you do all the machinima.
Yes.
So the
Helped is an understatement. I mean, it was me and you making the machinima
Yes,
together.
the two of us did the machinima with some help.
All right, well, don't take it too far.
Yeah. And I also did compositing for the animated stuff.
A lot of it.
A good bit of it.
I have concept art from Carrie, too, as well, up on my wall
Yeah.
here. The top
Yeah.
left over there. For one of our
It has my name on it.
One of our new AI characters. It
We
does.
We should get a fridge in here so you can put it on the fridge.
But like
You did good, Carrie.
like craft art.
I also cut most of the dialogue for the season.
You removed most of the dialogue from the season. You were like, I don't like this
Listen,
dialogue.
what the stages of making Red versus Blue, one of the phases that will just tear you up as fast as possible is cutting all the voice actors' dialogue together. That is hard. That'll wear you out.
That's why I feel like I'm 21 already because it took a year off my life.
Because you're basically building the whole movie without seeing the movie.
Yeah.
And that's the reference that we use from everybody else. And then people come in and they go, that's too much pause here. What's this about? You fucking shut up. Shut up. You do it. How about you?
This year was up and down for me. I think overall I'm pretty neutral. Like it started out okay. Middle was pretty rough, and then the end got pretty good. So
I'm just thinking of the neutral planet from Futurama now.
the neutral.
Tell
planet.
my wife I said hello.
Hello.
Man.
So
I would say probably my roughest year ever was 2002. And this year definitely rivals it. This was like a year of personal upheaval. We never talked about the podcast. My dad passed away, and it was like the second half of my year was just a fucking crushing nightmare. But in 2002, there was a lot of stuff. Same thing where like my mom passed away then, and there was I had a thing with my kid. One of my kids needed surgery and all that stuff. So that was like a crazy, crazy year. But it was weird because like after that year, 2002, 2003 was the year we started Rooster Teeth. And so it's like weird, like 6 months apart from the like crazy, crazy stuff that was going on. It's just crazy to think how much your life can turn around. You know what I mean?
guess it helps you keep in perspective how quickly things can swing.
Yeah, definitely. And
no, I mean I understand that. I mean like I moved out to Los Angeles thinking I could never get a job here in Austin, and then I was in there for 5 months, and you guys called me and said, "Hey, come work for us," and I was like, "Okay," and so I drove back. I mean that was like something where I thought, I'm essentially resetting my life, and then over a matter of 5 months, I was like, all right, I'm back, and now I'm doing something I absolutely love, and I've been doing it ever since. So,
in our defense, we didn't know Ryan at the time. Had we known Ryan, I don't know if that would have worked out.
so anyway, things can change. So as bad as things might get, then there's always give it time, and things can change.
Yeah,
So,
well, 2012 was looking up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of cool stuff that's in the works. From, not only us, but people we know. I mean, it's like
No one cares about them, though.
hey, did we mention that we were the number 8 channel on YouTube? Did we talk about that last week?
No, we didn't.
I don't
Yeah,
think
let's
we
talk
did.
about that. So YouTube released some numbers that came out, or released some numbers for the year for 2011, and non-music based channels, which would be like Vivo and stuff like that. Rooster Teeth,
Very important distinction, by the way.
yeah, very very important. Rooster Teeth, our YouTube channel was the number 8 most viewed channel on YouTube,
Yeah,
which is awesome. To be a top 10 YouTube channel, that's amazing.
So wait,
Click here to subscribe.
That was a non-music list?
yeah, that
Then
was
why was Lonely Island on it?
No, it's musical artists specifically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I consider them. Yeah. Never mind.
like I'm talking like your Vivo, stuff like
Like
that.
if- like-
Universal Music Group.
If Lady Gaga wants to bust out a short sometime during the year, then she can qualify for the list. Yeah, but music on YouTube's hard to compete with because
Yeah.
it's just so many repeat views.
Yeah. Well, that's also stuff people hit play and then go watch something else, or go, to a different website and just let it run in the background. So.
We were right below Knowing Orange, which surprised me because I know they don't put out as many videos, but their videos get tons and tons of views.
Yeah.
And then we were right below them. They were number 7, and then right above Lonely Island.
So Andy Samberg and Jorma and Keeve, you guys
Suck it. Suck our big fat number 8 cock.
I was gonna say you should, be on one of our shorts sometimes.
Nah, suck it.
We can be. We
No,
can
I'm
visit-
with Jack.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That
Let's go
sounds
up to SNL. It'll be fun.
I can absolutely.
No, we're
guarantee
bigger
you-
than them. Have them come down here. Let's just go up to SNL. No, fuck that. They're smaller. They're number 9. They come here.
Okay.
I can guarantee you right now, somewhere in the world, Andy Samberg is sitting there, and he said, "Who said what?" I have a feeling this conversation will never come back to haunt us.
Yeah.
I have a strong
I
feeling.
have a feeling we're about to get Twitter bombed. Or at Rooster Teeth wants you on their show.
We'll have
Rooster Teeth was name dropping that, and he said,
yeah. We'll have to change our Twitter account to Teeth with an EA in it.
they're releasing The Hobbit as 2 movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know
year
that.
apart.
Well, look, they showed the whole trailer and they didn't show Schmog. Smaug.
Yeah.
So we spent 2 days on the set of The Hobbit when we were down in New Zealand, which was fucking awesome. And one of the people we sat next to was this really cool lady from Utah who was down there.
Utah.
And she was the dialect coach. So she was coaching all the hobbits on what they sound like. And she was the established like fantasy dialogue coach, like
Lord of the Hobbits.
pretty much, yeah. And so I said in her presence, I said, "Will Smaug the dragon be in the first movie?" And she goes, "Smaug." And I was like, "What?" So we spent 20 minutes her teaching me how to say the dragon's name correctly.
Oh, really?
It is not Smaug. It is Smaug.
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 I'm even nervous that I'm not saying it right.
Okay.
Smaug.
So you have to say it properly.
Anyway.
But, hey, let's go back. Big shout out to you guys at Achievement Hunter. You guys are a huge part of that channel doing so well.
Thank you.
I mean, the crazy thing about being number 8 on YouTube, if I can toot our own horn for a moment, is that our main show that we're known for, RVB, doesn't even go on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Not
go-
the new stuff, at least.
No, not the new stuff.
The current season's exclusively on our site.
Yeah, and so I know they haven't put the numbers out, but last year we were number 1 on Blip. So if we end up in this close to the same place as last year, if we're number 1 on Blip with Red versus Blue, and the number 8 on YouTube with all of our other content, that's a pretty good place to be in, man. And I think you guys have worked really hard, and I'm fucking proud to work here. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
And 2012, we know some of the stuff we have in the works.
Yep.
And we can't wait to show it to you guys.
Angry Birds 2.
Yeah.
Angrier Birds.
Yeah, or Angry Birds.
Even more. We're going to do a crossover of Siri and the Angry Birds meeting together and fighting. So, anyway, well, hey, happy year.
Yeah,
Happy
let's
year.
wrap it up now.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging around in 2011. We look forward to many, many podcasts in 2012. We're maybe changing up the way we deliver this in 2012, but we'll be deciding that pretty soon.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Gus will be trying to cut us off at 50 minutes.
I'm gonna cut off your last sentence. We might be changing. Cut. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
So where are we going to lunch?